There we go. Number 2. Eventually we'll do this professionally and we'll have the lights on the right way. Maybe?
For this one, we're just going to take a look back at next week. Or last week.
Last week.
Last week.
We're not going to look forward. We're going to look... Yes.
Back 1 week.
So this is our second official, not counting the YouTube videos we did before, but of this series. Yes, our second one.
And we're going to talk about your post this time.
Mm-hmm.
And your post last week.
Yes.
So what inspired the post?
Part of it was the fact I wasn't sure what to write about. Which is why I did it right away. I wish, actually, it's funny with this, like with timing, the one that I'm going to put out next week, I wish I'd done it last week. But I was inspired by this, which is taking a puddle walk.
You're pointing at the computer.
I'm pointing at the, sorry, you can't see the computer, but I can. I'm pointing at the post. Well, and actually outside, because it finally got nice outside. Or I should say finally got nice outside. I don't like when people talk about like that. I love winter. I like all the seasons. But we're transitioning into spring in Minnesota. And it got warmer out. And we didn't really have the icky winter part of winter this year, I don't feel like.
In a few days.
Not that bad, though, because sometimes we have a week or two of just muck and gross and blah. And you're really, really excited for spring. We didn't have that this year, but all of a sudden the snow started going away. And there were these puddles in the street. And I thought, oh, we used to do that all the time with the kids. We would throw the boot, well, at least I would, throw the boots on, and we'd go out and have a puddle walk, which is just essentially you go out with rain boots on and you allow them to jump in the puddles. Because you know how normally you go outside and you get out of the puddles, you're wearing shoes. But, well, we encourage it now with the puddle walks. And the kids were even talking about it, how they, well, when we were staging the photos for the blog, they were waxing nostalgic about when we used to do it and how we'd have fun doing it. And they actually, I think if we had been out there longer, they would have had a lot of fun running, and they just would have kept going if I hadn't said, hey, let's go inside now. I have my pictures.
And I think she had a hole in her boot.
She had a hole in her boot, yeah. Yeah, we discovered that. But she wasn't complaining about it. It was more, oh, it's so cold. But she wasn't saying, can we go in? It was, oh, it's so cold. But it was still fun. So a puddle walk was a really good way when they were kids, from essentially spring through fall, to get them outside, like, and do something as an excuse. Because sometimes if you say, let's go for a walk, that's boring. That's even boring for us as adults, even if we're just, oh my gosh, we got to get out of the house. But to say, let's go for a walk, sometimes that's just not reason enough. But if you tell the kids, hey, let's go for a puddle walk, then they're, ooh, because it kind of feels naughty. A little bit. Because they're allowed to go jump in the water and make a mess and get full of muck and goo and do the things that we often tell them not to do. And they always, when they were younger, had a blast doing it. And it was nice in spring because it was one of the first times you could get out and really feel the sun on you again. And all the rivers of water as the snow was melting, the curbs would be full just of water sometimes. And sometimes we would go in the rain and we'd get on full-on gear, and it'd be rain boots and the rain jacket and the umbrellas. And sometimes it was raining really heavy, and they loved it. Because again, it was naughty, but it was also different, and it got them outside and having fun. One time, you weren't with. I feel like it was just with one child, but I don't know. We went, and down at the end of the street, maybe 5 blocks from home, they had the fire hydrant open and they were draining it. And so it was a huge puddle. And we were, woo! So she was jumping around playing in the huge puddle. But then, because fire hydrants, copious amounts of water in a short period of time, big puddles, splashing all over high, she got soaking wet in her boots. So that wasn't as much fun. There was a little more winding after that. We ended up having to go to Mocha Monkey and trying to dry off her feet, and yeah, that was a little bit of a miscalculation, but it was still fun. Plus, splashing is just fun.
And we got a unique situation too. Lots of the slope of our street, things will puddle a little more.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, puddle so much that we've had ducks
Oh
a few feet from our house sitting in the puddles.
yeah.
They'll be deep enough.
Not every year, but on occasion.
A couple times.
Yeah.
So they enjoy a good puddle walk as well.
The ducks come, and that's when you know you got the good puddles, is when nature comes. Oh, I cleaned this place. Yeah. You never really did the puddle walks with us, although you didn't often have. Would you? You didn't always have boots.
In the spring, I'd put on my winter ones and I'd walk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or I'd just stay out of the puddles and walk along.
That's you, staying out of the puddles. I'll come with and not do the fun thing. But you would come with.
I would come with and watch the children do the fun thing.
Yeah. It was always fun in this time of year, too, because, like last week when we were staging the pictures, it was all this water in the puddles, but then there was still ice and snow. And they are 10 and 13, and they are still crunching in the snow and crunching the ice.
It's a satisfying sound.
It is a satisfying sound. I don't blame them.
When you're 42, you still crunch the ice.
When you're 44, yeah, too. And kicking off the snow from behind the tires when it would build up. Oh, I get mad when people do that to my car because I want to do it. That's a good sound, too. But yeah, they were able, because it was winter into spring, to crunch and get lots of crunches because it was melting underneath, and get the snow and get the water. That was a good time. I think they had fun that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good day. It was just a nice day out, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's part of it. That spring.
Yeah, just getting outside. It's an excuse. And it's an excuse for me to get outside. Because I often have to be I have to convince myself, because if I'm at home and I have a book or 7 to read, that's what I want to be doing, is reading. But because I have to finish that book. It's on my to-do list. Like, I have to make supper, I have to clean the bathroom, I have to vacuum, and I have to finish that book. Because that's how my brain works. Yeah. Now that we have that nice spot, that couch, that was worth the money. That recovering, yeah. Yeah. But puddle walks have always been good, and they do. I mean, they're kind of at the teen and preteen ages, our kids, and they still remember when. Oh, it's so much fun. They like their puddle walks. Mm-hmm. It's a good activity. Adults could do this too. Why not go out and have a puddle walk and have fun and be seen as silly?
Stomp around a little bit.
Stomp around. Who cares? People care too much about what other people think. Who gives a flying fig Newton about what Yahoo over there with their phone and their attitude thinks about you? I don't know. I've never understood that. But
yeah, do what's fun.
Do what's fun. Do what's fun to you. Do what's fun to you. And that's where puddle walks came from. No, I don't know. It was just a good idea. Yeah. So
good. Good, not so clean fun. Right?
Not so clean
That's
fun.
what you put in there.
Did I say that? Is that what I put down?
Either that or maybe I threw that on Facebook.
Oh, maybe you did. I don't know. That's possible.
It is possible.
Yeah. But, I forgot to say this in the first one. I will have the link to the blog post in the description down below, which sounds really weird to say because it sounds very Jen Tracker-ish. Oh my gosh. I'm speaking like Jen Tracker.
Careful so you don't copyright anything.
I won't. No, they won't care. They're very nice. That's not a copyright thing. Everyone says that. Anyway. But yes. If you're interested in this post or of any of the other ones that we talk about, they will be in the descriptions. And thank you for spending the time with us.